Hey beauties, good evening to you. So beautiful people. I'm watching the news and the JLP had a conference. I guess it's today somewhere. And I heard Minister Warmington says he will be running back come the next election to ensure that the Andrew Holness's administration, or so that, well, rather he said that Andrew Michael Holness gets a third term. So he'll be giving his full and complete support and will be running back again. He will not back down because he was basically chiding and challenging Mark Golding's, what should I say, place of birth, and how long he has been a citizen of Jamaica. Even though Mark Golding said he was born in Jamaica, he has a Jamaican passport, and so on. So he's saying that Mark Golding is saying it's a smoke screen, on the from the Jamaica Labour Party because he's still holding on to the fact he's still holding on to, I don't know if I should say fact or truth, because two of them say it is fact and two of them say it is truth. So he's still holding on to the notion that the People's National Party had won the local government elections, and a recent Don Anderson poll shows that he is in the lead in terms of favorite leader right now as it relates to politics. So he's saying they're just using that as a smokescreen, just clutching at a straw. When they talk about a drowning man clutching at a straw, at anything just to not drown. And, notwithstanding, Everald Warmington is challenging that and saying that he's convinced, and he even said, cross your passports over, both the British one and the Jamaican one, because he knows that he got his citizenship when he was a senator in 2011, and he knows that the British passport will show, how he's speaking is as though the British passport will show that he had that at an earlier date than 2011. All right, on the basis of, there are some protocols that are a must, just like with the US government. I think they said that you have to be a US citizen, you have to be born in the US in order to be a prime minister. There are some things that are requisite. It's like are a must. It's compulsory. I don't remember that one because they were questioning both Barack Obama at the time, his place of birth. I know they said he had originally born in Hawaii, which is a part of the United States makeup. And they were questioning, the one that they always say get trouble. I find him very hilarious, to be honest with you, Donald Trump, and so on. So I'm not quite sure about that, but there are some mandatory things that they have to follow, and I have no problem with order, with following, with having some level of order and rules and regulations, so long as they're not unjust, unfair, and ridiculous. Because sometimes they come up with some ridiculous laws that makes no sense. It doesn't help with the growth and development of a country. So once it follows those parameters, I'm okay with that. It's just like a workplace. People may say it is fair if somebody has longevity in a place, tenure, plus they're hard workers and their attitude is good, and then somebody comes in new and gets promoted over them. It kind of is, it's like it wants to border on being unethical. I understand these things. For me, though, I will say these are not major issues. It is about leadership, it is about governance. If you even want to pull somebody from Iran, so to speak, and they decide that they're going to follow our democracy and they're going to exhibit or execute or exude fairness, justice, equity, equality where equality should be, and all the wonderful things that governs, or that shows good governance, that shows good management, that shows good leadership. Couldn't care less where you want. You could have born out of an elephant's egg. You could have come from out of the sea, so to speak. And I'm not making an inference with people's sexuality, please, because nowadays people say, oh, when they say this is what they mean, as though one comment or one jargon can only mean something. I really wasn't thinking about them. It just came to me as I say, let me qualify that. For me, if you're going to be a good leader, it matters not where you're born. You just need to be a good leader. So whether you're Jamaican, British, American, this, that, the third, alligator, and I mean, That's the least beautiful people. It's about treatment. It's about how the people are feeling, how the people are doing. We're majoring in minor things. I am not saying, notice, I made sure to preface to say that I will agree with protocols, with rules and regulations, as long as they're not unjust, unfair, or ridiculous. You know, I can't say all, people can look at justice and fairness and what something being ridiculous differently, but there are some things as you hear them, I think most people universally will say, no, that's really ridiculous. But for me, where he's born really matters not. I don't know how this, I find that sometimes as Jamaican politicians on both sides, we can, we try to, I don't know if it's a way to gimmick the people or to goad the people in. It's ridiculous because I remember last year's budget debate. It was last year, I think. Yes, I don't think it was this year. If it's not last year, then it would be this year. But I feel it was last year when it was last year, because I remember when Nigel do the whole reeling out of the paper, like when you're reeling out a toilet tissue, and he said master mark, and I remember what's her name again, Angela Brownberg, took offense to it and said it was a racist comment. But again, maybe it's how I look at things, and it has nothing to do with it, because that I will, if something the PNP says that I don't appreciate, I will say it. If something the GLP says I don't appreciate, similarly, if something the GLP says that I'm okay with, I'll speak on it. If something the PNP says that is okay, I'll speak on it. It couldn't be a racist comment. One, he's a part of the black race, which is considered by the white supremacists the inferior of the two. We're not the owners of the means of production by and large. So it really couldn't have been a racist comment. I could understand if he said it was a feisty comment, rude, kind of out of line, but racist from a black man to a white man. You see what I'm saying? A white man who has the wherewithal. Yeah. So I would more accept a more inappropriate, offensive sort of response. So that comment, when he said Master Mark was not, and then we start to pull a race card. No, we're back on the race card situation again. It's I don't know. It's we need to stop gouging the people. Let me put it that way. And focus on good governance. Focus on good governance. That come the next select. But I just pray that God allows the better of the two to win. I just pray that God allows the better of the two to win, to be honest with you. I pray that he will just intervene in this that we get and we vote. But him just say, you know what? I'm going to make the decision because them people are joke around too much. I really want God to just make the better of the two win. Honestly, Jamaican people, because I don't know where our headspace is. It's our headspace seems to be all over the place, and I don't know. We're not operating the way we ought to, and it is from top to bottom, from bottom to top, where we seem to be all over the place. So when I need God to come down from his throne and say, this is the party and this is my final decision, this is the party that is going to win, or that is the party that is going to win, because Jamaica can't take a mass more of anything negative in a grandiose way, in a magnolious way. I'm talking about, I'm not saying that life will be hunky-dory. I'm not living in a bubble or in an eggshell. I'm talking about predominantly, just as how Singapore was able to turn, their country was able to be turned around, our country can turn around if we wanted to. Corruption doesn't have to be our leader. When I say corruption being our leader, I'm not speaking about the present leadership. I'm talking about corruption over the years. Corruption over the years. Corruption, thievery, generalship, pretense, trickery, bribery. I mean, you name them. Over the many years, 60 odd years, this country has so-called been emancipated and independent, and I cannot see it. Up to now, I cannot see it. Up to me, come here, I still not independent. It's still not emancipated. It there before me. Me there when it them claim we still in independence and emancipation, and me can't see it. I feel bound. So for me, we need to stop majoring in things that are minor. We need to look at good governance, good leadership, good management, good stewardship of the people and of the resources, that people can live a wholesome life in this country in every way. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.